off on with the senior staff of the Valor as they head towards Cardassia on a very old and renovated D5 that was procured by the Green Star Sisters, or at least what's left of them. And we will cut to the bridge, to the Klingon D5 vessel.
Finished our long rest.
Yeah, you guys finished your long rest and some people back on the token layer. Currently, you're nearing the Cardassia system, and I believe some of you still need to go under the knife and have cosmetic surgery done.
Turn to assist Doctor. Good morning, Doctor.
Why, Lieutenant, good morning.
You sleep well?
As one would expect on soft beds and, well, avoiding certain agitation with certain individuals on board. But are you ready for your procedure?
Well, I was actually going to ask if you needed assistance in doing the others first, before I under myself.
I could always use extra pair of hands.
Yes, many hands make light tasks, I think.
They do indeed. Go ahead and go ask for a volunteer. We lost.
Oh, let's get the first officer down here.
Not mistaken, Tobio already went through the procedure from last week.
Who's gone through already? The captain and
That was the captain and
Yamasharo.
Yamashara.
There's
Yeah.
only two.
okay.
I'm not
I think
worried
you're
about
next.
If you don't mind, Lieutenant, go west to see. Well, you pick your first officer or Jeddah.
Well, okay, Commander. At my comm badge. Commander.
Shran here. Go ahead.
If you would, please report to the medical bay.
Very
For
well.
time.
On my way.
Ah, there's the commander now. Morning, Commander.
Morning, Lieutenant.
Commander, please have a seat. This won't take too long. make this one task since there is no momentum on the table. Fortunately, you got to roll with your raw stats.
Vision's got a pretty good medicine.
Control medicine. Just roll control medicine for the assist.
Okay.
You don't have a focus in this because it's surgery. 3 momentum gained. And what doesn't seem like it seems like an instant to you, but was probably about an hour or so. You come to wake, or you wake up in the very tough Klingon surgical bed, and you find that your skin palette is of a grayish hue.
Looks striking, Commander.
Shran just gives him side eye. Right. Doctor, I'll be first in line to get this reversed once we're back.
I'll make note of that. Marshall kind of speaks up. Commander, over in the cargo bay, there's a set of Cardassia uniforms and appropriate gear.
Are we sure that we're not going to run into any problems like in the simulations? Everything's... This gear, I'm assuming, is
It's the blended.
proper?
Yes.
No upside down badges or mismatched boots?
It depends on how you put it on.
Or you'll be there to help us get properly dressed.
Not at first, but I will be joining you as soon as I can.
Tran will go and retrieve. I'll grab Yamasharo to help, and we'll retrieve the uniform equipment.
As the commander exits the medical room, Adjun enters and says, "Your turn, Quentin."
All right. So I believe one of you is next.
Adjun had said when he entered, "It's Quentin's turn."
Quentin, are you there?
Testing. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I just say, oh no, you first. I will be assisting the doctor.
You can assist the doctor after your turn.
Well, I sense uneasiness.
If anything, it would be I who sensed a hesitancy.
Nonsense. Just attempting the most efficient path possible.
don't make me order you two. One of you needs to step on. So either you play paper, rock, scissors, or one volunteers now. Time. We don't have the time to make this into an argument, boys.
I will step up and allow you to begin.
Are you assisting?
Yes.
Probably really don't need it, but she could give you a focus and a 5 in medicine.
What do you think?
I mean, it's only a difficulty 2, so and it's been going really well for her. So
Yeah, I don't think we need a momentum.
just control medicine for the assist as the two of you work rather diligently. So 1 momentum gained. And it took a little bit of extra work. Jace's facial features aren't, easily malleable. This is the proper word to make him look like a Cardassian, but he now looks like a healthy, young, stoic Cardassian soldier. As you come to, Jace.
Turn to the doctor. How'd it go?
I think it went rather well.
Good. Good. Well, I'll give you a hand if I can with this last procedure, and then we'll all get ready and
Spend the momentum for collaboration for focus and 5 in medicine.
sure.
I'll reroll that for her. Control medicine. Literally, both of you on your assist rolled an 18. You get the momentum back, and the ensign is now a lighter shade, pasty gray, and looks like a Cardassian.
Excellent work, Doctor.
To you as well,
Yeah,
both of
there's
you. You were
so
very
much I
helpful.
must learn.
Indeed, I'm sure Dr. Yeadman would love to give you some more thorough. Would love to have your aid in your own ship's sick bay.
Oh, Ensign, let's get to getting all dressed up, shall we?
We shall.
Up on here. You have to make the sound effect or you can't.
Just got to do the metal deck plate. Tink, 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 tink. Heavy doors.
After some time, you find all the proper sets of. It's up here. The cargo stuff's at right next to the transporter room.
Kind of looking at all our ranks, trying to figure out what their equivalents are.
All the ranks are about the same. They're probably is the bottom of the barrel. You might have someone who's a Glyn, and that's it. And is everybody with the in the cargo room looking at the uniforms and stuff and equipment?
Yeah.
Captain Yamasharo.
Anybody?
I'm sorry.
I was just
Hello?
wondering if everybody's gathered together in the cargo bay next to the transporter room.
Uh, I'll start. Oh, stupid thing. Can you guys?
You keep cutting in and out, but
You be over at cargo bay.
Captain, are you there? Captain?
He seems to be in the voice chat.
Oh, yeah, I can hear you guys now.
Are you going into the room, the cargo bay room, where everyone's gathered to get the uniforms and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All of you have gathered in there, and you start going through the stuff when you recognize as the doors clink open, and takes you a minute, but you recognize Commander Marshall, which he seems to be disguised as a Cardassian as well.
Commander.
Captain,
You'll be accompanying us as well, Commander?
down to the surface, yes. Someone has to input the work order for you to get on board the ship.
Fair enough.
True.
On that note, I know the doctor did remarkable work on you, Lieutenant Yamasharo. I'm gonna have to ask you to stay here. I have another project for you on board the ship. It's
Go ahead. Sorry.
no, go ahead.
Of course. What do you need assistance with?
Dr. Higgins will brief you on that. But it's also just in case, to be honest, I don't trust the Orions in case there's an immediate beam out. You're a bit more.
Of course.
Assuming that's all right with
Well,
you, Captain. I don't mean to circumvent any orders that you might have.
It would be, grief! I'm trying to remember. Is Yamasharo our main engineer?
Yes. He is though a decent security. Can you guys?
Yeah, I heard
Yep.
you. I'm trying to. Commander, it's entirely possible that Yamasharo might be better over on the Legate's ship. He is one of my main engineers, while I understand that Quentin ran through the uh, training simulations with us. I believe Yamasharo will actually increase our speed exponentially.
But I need someone to. I understand that, Captain, but trying to run this thing as a fine tune as possible. Should have more faith in Lieutenant Quinton here. He's performed remarkable in the training simulations.
Thank you, sir.
You'll watch yourself when you tell a captain what he should and shouldn't have faith in, Commander.
I understand that, but in order for this operation to pull smoothly and everyone get out in one piece, I feel it's very important that Lieutenant Yamashiro remain on board the D5.
I'm not disagreeing with your assessment, but rather with the way in which you addressed a superior officer.
My
Laying
apologies.
that
Commander.
aside for the moment, Captain, I have to agree with the commander here. Quentin's not only been through the training scenarios, but if things do go sideways, he's our primary security officer, and Yamasharo has the best chance of getting us out quickly and away on this rust bucket with this rust bucket's transporter systems upgraded as they may have been.
Understandable. All right. We'll leave it how it is.
Thank you, Captain, and apologize if I'm overstepping.
Tran just gives him exo side eyes. Yamasharo, a word.
Yes, Commander.
Keep an eye out on the Orions and keep your laser handy. Last thing we need is to find ourselves stranded on Cardassian Prime. Thus far, they've been willing to work with us, and leaders' murky relationship with Admiral Haggard seems to be working to our advantage, but I'm with Marshall. I'm not sure I'd trust them to hang around without some convincing if things get tight. So keep a sharp lookout and pull us out of the fire if we need it.
Understood, Commander. But me myself, not sure if I can convince friends.
Oh, I'm not necessarily asking you to have a conversation with them. Do what you do best. I don't want to die as a spoonhead.
I understand. You can count on me to get you out.
As everyone's getting dressed, Marshall kind of finishes up looking the parts and kind of excuses himself to talk with Nalo on the state of things and how close they are to Cardassia.
As he exits the room, Adjun would like to mention that not to trust Marshall as he is not telling them the whole story.
When does Starfleet intelligence ever tell anyone the whole story? So I'm increasingly curious about that human-sized torpedo-looking device in sickbay.
Agreed.
Sure, I'm
Probably an
sure
emergency
Starfleet
assist.
intelligence give us all the information that we require when we need it.
The problem with Starfleet intelligence, Lieutenant, is that the information they think we require often is not the information we actually do require. Marshall didn't mention going down with us during the training simulations. There's an entirely separate op going to be run while we plant our device on the Legate's cruiser.
Sure, it's simply compartmentalizing the security information, sir.
That's what they think. Last time we took on something for Starfleet intelligence, the captain got tortured. Our former chief engineer got killed. A lot of Klingons and a few Cardassian civilians lost their lives, not to mention other Federation officers. Or all that for retrieving an asset who, as I understand it, isn't that coherent even when he's lucid. Not saying they actively mean us harm, Lieutenant. I'm just...
Of course not, sir. But we must believe that our superiors have our best interests in mind at all times. Quotes the regular academy.
This late date, though, Captain, I'm not sure able to find out what that pod is unless we really press the...
I highly doubt it, and when I tried before, it seemed to be above our pay grade.
Stood.
Quentin looks over. You paid?
It's a human expression dating back to pre-post scarcity times when the human economy was based upon rates of exchange and monetary units. Same thing in Andoria has a similar saying from our own period of that type. Fundamentally means that there are certain things that higher ranks have to worry about that we don't and won't.
Thank you for
Well,
the
let's-
clarification, sir.
Well, Commander, let's just say I sincerely hope we don't have a repeat of the prison planet.
You and me both, sir. I'm not going to be surprised if we have a special guest star at the end of this in that Edo.
Agreed.
Let's get this show on the road. My antennae are itching under all this stuff.
Go and change scenes here.
Oh, the momentum.
Yes. Goodbye, momentum.
Dang it.
You hear a warning sirens on the the Klingon X signs for sort of alert status.
Captain's definitely headed to the bridge.
All right, everyone else, let's stand by in the transporter room. Feeling we'll be leaving quickly.
Yes, sir. Standing by.
Captain's heading to the bridge. As you enter the bridge, you hear Nalo yelling at one of her officers. What do you mean you can't get past their patrol lines? What do you think I pay you for? With all due respect, they've been hiding their security here. The patrols are getting... It's real difficult to get past these patrols. And Marshall just kind of looks at you, Captain.
What about the cloaking device? Is it effective, or do the Cardassians are they able to penetrate it?
It's an older cloaking device. If we get too close to them, they will see us.
How close is too close?
Close enough. I would rather... Let's just say we don't want to be within 2 million kilometers of a vessel. Once we get in orbit, we can hide within the poles.
Okay, so we've got 2 million kilometers to play with. Can you give me a tactical overlay of the system, please?
They bring up what they can see in the Cardassian vessels. They're running a tight patrol setup, make it very difficult for people to get unwanted visitors who may or may not be using cloaking devices. if you don't mind, Marshall speaks up. If you don't mind, Nalo, maybe Commander Shishran could pilot us through this. You don't think your officer can handle it? I don't care who pilots our ship. We need to get through this. We're all dead.
Agreed. And Captain Maxwell is gonna walk over to, I guess, some sort of intercom panel and go, Commander the Shran to the bridge, please.
And the Shran will come to the bridge. Sir.
Take a look at this. Tell me what you think. And he shows him the overlay. We've got 2 million kilometers that we cannot come into contact with any ship. Of course, that's a rough guesstimate. The further away, the better.
And the Shran see some potential courses that would let us slip through undetected.
Insight plus con, difficulty of 2.
For bold con and the third die. Astronavigation for focus.
Yeah. Gain a momentum. Yeah, you do see a path, but it would require a very skilled pilot to get you through it.
Shran will put that up. This would work, but the flying's going to be tricky.
Think you could do it?
An ice borer sting.
Okay, then.
Shran will look at Nalo. With your permission?
Don't care who flies the ship as long as somebody just gets us to the location. We need to be at one of the poles. He
It's
gets
me.
up.
Thank you.
And I have an extended task for you.
Da da da. Not a falcon.
This is daring plus con, difficulty of 3. Work 12, magnitude of 3 with the resistance of 1. Get through the to fly safe and clear of the enhanced Cardassian patrols.
Take 1 threat and 2 momentum for a total of 4 dice and to activate bold. Home operations for a focus.
I'll take helm operations. I am going to increase the complication range by 1. You're a little unfamiliar with the controls.
Assisting with anything?
The ship will assist with the engine's con, the Dawn Star. 4 momentum gained.
Apt.
Roll 7 challenge dice, please.
Out of it or something.
It's 4 work currently.
I will spend 1 for piercing. I'll
Okay.
go ahead and re-roll those 2 just for giggles. Take the first 2, yeah.
So that's 6. It is a breakthrough, so difficulty goes down by 1. It is 1 breakthrough.
So take a red for 3rd die and bold. Are you up in the comp range or?
Yeah, I'm keeping the comp range at 1 or at 2. Does any good?
Ship.
2 momentum
that'll hurt.
gained. Roll 7 challenge dice. That's 5 work.
Spend 1 for piercing.
That will complete the work track, which will get you to the 3rd breakthrough. And you manage to fly as you're taking a bunch of twists and turns and almost like a leaf in the wind, and you manage to pull the D5 into the southern pole, concealing your presence, at least for now.
I think you should be good to go from here. Not as handy as the old Montana, but not bad.
Ma'am, I'm detecting a. I don't know if we'd be able to beam from this altitude. Appears that the Cardassians are engaging in active sensor sweeps across the planet.
Are you able to transport while under cloak?
We can, but they will detect the transport signal.
Captain, recommend we get Adjun up here. See if he can't point a pattern or maybe some sort of cyclic rate where we could beam through between sweeps.
True. All right. He'll hit the comm panel again and go, it's an adjun to the bridge, please.
Affirmative, sir. On my way.
Quentin, you might as well come up here too.
On my way, sir.
Go party like a D5 party.
Quentin, reporting as ordered.
Intonation, I need you to see if you can find a pattern to the planetary sensor sweeps, whether it be a cyclic rate or someplace that isn't covered. Anything. Quentin, you get to just hang out for a minute.
Aye, sir. Hanging out.
Give me reason, science, or engineering difficulty of 2. Assisted by the D5 sensors plus science or engineering.
I'll give you a threat.
Difficulty 2.
Focus in astrophysics.
No. This is more of finding. I don't think you have a focus for this. But you do bank. You do bank 2 momentum, and no bonus gain. You do manage to find that between every sensor sweep they do, there is a brief period to where you might be able to beam someone down undetected, but it will be extremely difficult, a little difficult because transporter sequence has to happen time, or has to be timed precisely.
So if we time the transporter sequence precisely, we should be able to get 1 or 2 people down in the time it takes for them to get their sensors back up.
Not the entire group of us.
As more people would lengthen the transporter, I would recommend that we do not do that.
So we're looking at multiple transports at various times.
How long is the sensor cycle, the sweep cycle?
So it seems each sensor interval is around 5 seconds.
Shran to Yamasharo.
Yamashiro here. Go ahead, Commander.
Hit on the transporter console. Ensign Adjun and I nod at the ensign. Is sending you some data now. Looks like we're going to have to beam us in small 1s or 2s on this 5-second cycle, or the Cardassian sensors will pick us up. Do you think you can do it and that the system can handle it? And B, what's the maximum number of people that could be beamed each cycle?
Understood, Commander. This is old. I'll to look in to see how many people can be at once, or in groups. GM is a role for that, or
Yes, reason plus engineering difficulty of 2.
okay. Roll troubleshooting, focus work.
No, this is more like transporters and replicators type focus. Or
Okay, yeah, I don't have that anymore. Can someone go ahead and roll for me? Difficulty 2. I'll give whoever's rolling 1 threat for both for equals, and see if we can't get any more.
How many dice do you want to roll total? We've got 6 momentum on the board as well.
Okay, well in that case, yeah, let's just go ahead and use the bold instead, or not bold. Let's go ahead
you have
instead. So
just FYI, you have bold engineering.
yeah, yeah, let's just go ahead and do 1 threat for bold.
That's reason engineering, GM.
Yes, reason engineering.
The diff.
And my reasoning is not very good.
2.
Zero. Help. You made it.
You think you can get 3 people? 2 would be safer.
Okay. Command, we might be able, in theory, might be able to get, but I do not recommend that. I recommend we do 2 at a time.
Understood. Wait one. Marshall, what's our insertion point look like? The 5 of us, so that would be. Can we afford to beam down to take 15 seconds to get us all down there?
Fewer transports, the better. More transports we do to the location, the
Understood. Yamasharo, looks like we're going to have to do 1 group of 3 and 1 group of 2. We don't want to extend this any longer than we have to. Crack your knuckles and do your stretches.
Okay, understood, Commander. I'll to see how this old girl can do the transporters.
Captain, recommend you beam down in the group of 2.
Agreed. Probably me and Quentin, so we have a little bit of security. The other 3, 5 seconds later.
Captain, I believe it should be you and Marshall beaming down together. He has the codes necessary to activate our cover. Worst comes to worst, you might be able to pull this off on your own.
Understood. Well, here's hoping.
All right,
Marshall.
everyone.
he goes into sort of like a bag and pulls out what appears to be a hypo. Before everyone else arrives, and then he kind of injects himself, and then kind of walks over to you.
Thing all right there, Marshall?
You're gonna want this in case things go wrong.
What is it?
It's an emergency transponder. They won't be able to detect it, but it's going to be inactive. You press on the neck, it'll activate it, and a signal will be sent for you to be mounted right away.
All right. Find a spot between the prostheses.
And he finds a spot and injects you. It's possible, Captain. I've done it. Just FYI. And he walks up to you, Edson, and you allow him to inject you.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, he gets you, Captain, and I guess you step on the transporter.
We all just now we've signed our death warrants by letting him put some sort of poison in us.
Oh, yes, Jetta dropped accidentally. Quentin, do you join everybody in the transporter room?
Thank you.
He
Very confidently.
and goes up to you, he's like, won't hurt, and injects you into the side of the neck. Don't feel anything. But he literally says, like, if you run into trouble and you need emergency transport out, press the side of your neck where the injection's at, and I'll send up a warning up to Dr. Higgins to advise Yamasharo to beam you out immediately.
Excellent. I understand.
And he gets on the transporter pad and stands next to the captain.
Yamasharo, on your go.
I believe the human custom is break a leg, sir.
I don't plan on breaking a leg today.
Neither
What
do
kind of
I.
roll? Do I have to make a roll?
Yes, there's a roll.
What was it again? Control?
This is going to be control plus engineering difficulty of 3, complication range of 2, assisted by the ship's sensors engineering.
Difficulty rating is 3. Okay.
There's an increased difficulty because of how tight the window is.
Right.
And we've got 6 momentum.
All right. Let's go ahead and put. I'll give you 1 threat for the re and think. How many dice?
It's diff 3, and we've got momentum. I mean, we're capped. So
Yeah, okay.
I'd
I'll
say-
give you some threat for 4 dice.
You want to just give him 1 threat for bold, and we can give him 2 momentum for.
So
So 1 threat, 2 momentum to roll 4 dice.
I've got his sheet. Roll is 0. You've made it. 2.
complications.
No complications. 2 momentum
Any
gain.
okay.
Gained 2, got the momentum back. You rolled 3, and then you re-rolled the 0, and you rolled 2.
All right, perfect.
Gentlemen, let's get ready. The Tran steps up on the transporter pad. All right, everyone. Charlie's Angels pose.
Quentin, get on the transporter pad.
3 or the 2?
It's 3.
Yeah, we got to risk the 3.
This will actually be difficulty 4, control plus engineering. Complication range of. I will spend threat to up the complication range to 3.
Back up to 6 momentum.
So yeah, control engineering difficulty of 4, complication range of 3, assisted by the ship's sensors plus engineering.
How do you want to roll, Yamasharo?
What was the complication range?
Comp 3, difficulty 4. We have 6 momentum.
Okay, comp 3, and difficulty 4. Uh,
Roll engineering.
yeah, let's go for 1 threat for that bold.
How many dice do you want to roll?
If I roll too many dice, we could potentially get complications. Okay, let's do 4. Give you 2 threat, or not 2 threat, 2 bold, or 2 bold, 2 momentum. Sorry.
All right. Comp 3, diff 4, 4 dice. Control engineering. There's Yamasharo. Got it in 1.
I need the.
Nice.
Wow.
Chip rolled a 2.
2 momentum gained.
Up 6.
No complications?
Nope.
Perfect. All right.
Oops, I did something weird with.
And few minutes, not that long, and Dr. Higgins comes out. Oh, they're already gone. Well, that's good. And and she's kind of like holding something in her hand. She sets it on. Like, oh, it's really heavy. There you go, Yashimuro. Need to install this.
What is it exactly?
It's to modify the transporter systems. I believe this D5 can't do site to site.
Do my
She just-
character know exactly what they are?
You have to go up to the device. But yeah, she leaves it there and just walks out of the room.
I will go to the device and try to study it some more.
It appears to be a modification so that the tertiary sensor array would help with the to do transporter rolls on essentially to do a site-to-site transport using the ship's internal sensor array. Allow you to beam from one part of the ship to onto the surface, or a part of the ship to another part of the ship. Which,
So it just allows the orders to be a bit more accurate.
yes. Never need a
Okay.
device like that before. The Orion person's been standing there the entire time.
Okay. Yeah, I can go ahead and install it.
We'll come back to that as we're going to go down to the planet's surface. And this will be a scene change. Captain, you beam down in an alleyway with Commander Marshall. All right, we have 5 seconds before they beam down, and then he kind of walks ahead a little bit of the alleyway and starts, taking point.
I'll follow for a little bit.
And not too much longer, the other 3 beam down.
Oh, good. You're all here. Didn't want to have to do this myself.
All right. What's next?
We'll head to the transporter hub for all the workers, but I'm going to have to go to nearby office. I'm going to have to enter the work order in so you can get up to Bemlet's ship.
Hopefully, there's not another team that gets there ahead of us.
Hopefully. Let's go. It's this way. As he kind of motions.
Off. Shran channeling his irritation and discomfort at the prosthetics into looking more like a Cardassian.
As everyone gets closer to essentially the transporter hub room, you notice that there's a very long line. Several Cardassian civilians and appears to be like, security officers or just, general Cardassian officers, all waiting in line. All right, gentlemen, this is where we depart. Good luck.
You think you might be able to see if we can get priority access?
These lines tend to move pretty quick, so should be okay.
Alright, just make sure you send me the work order, please.
They should have it. Like, you literally have a pad that has a copy. Like, you're supposed to have the work order, but it needs to be.
Oh.
Well, he's describing it needs to be in the system. He's going to go enter
Right,
into the
yeah.
system, which is elsewhere. So that way you get
Right,
access
okay.
to get beamed up.
I thought I didn't have a copy yet. Okay.
The Shran, as we stand in line, will use this opportunity to eavesdrop, see what the Cardassian in the street is talking about these days.
Food.
What way?
As Marshall moves away from you guys and you're listening to the conversation, two Cardassian security guards walk up and stop Marshall and begins to have a conversation with them as you guys slowly move in the line.
This is not good.
So Marshall was headed to where? We're headed to the transporter hub. He's headed to.
Basically, the office.
Can I sense anything from the two Cardassians?
You do. You sense a bit of frustration coming from Marshall, and then the Cardassians, they're just, how should I say, they're just randomly picking someone, and Marshall's the unfortunate person that they just pick to pick on and harass.
Adjutant Justin Lux, looks like someone's trying to get their quota filled today.
In what way were they talking about food? There being a lack of it? What?
Just a new restaurant.
Restaurant?
So the one person says there's not enough. Trying to remember those eggs.
Shran will assume kind of an irritated and much too busy to have to deal with this kind of air, and walk up and address Marshall almost like he doesn't even see the guards. Girardi, what are you still doing here? I expect you to be to the office and back by now. Despite this line, we don't have all day.
Apologies. It should only be a few moments. Let me see your papers.
Hand over my pad. Any chance we could hurry this along? We're scheduled to inspect Legate Bemlet's cruiser.
I don't care who you're inspecting today.
What do you say?
I don't care who you're inspecting today.
Well, you should care. The Legate is notorious for getting very irritable with delays.
They're all the same.
As you say,
your
but you know it
papers
rolls downhill.
Whatever. He kind of shoves the pad back and is like, whatever, your papers are in order. You're going to have to come with us. I assure you everything is in order here. Now we have further questions for you.
Look, sir, if you take my man here, that's going to delay us for at least half a cycle, or whatever Cardassian day is. And I don't want to deal with the Legate. I certainly don't want you to have to deal with an angry Legate, not to mention my boss. Certainly there has to be something we can do to expedite whatever questions you need to ask my man here. God knows he's not
merely
smart
routine. His paperworks are out of date and need to be updated. It won't take long. And he kind of looks to you as like, and tries to hand you something discreetly.
enough. Who's he?
Marshall.
Marshall?
Roll control security opposed against the Cardassians to see if they notice it.
Martial arts as a focus, since I'm doing.
I would take magician, or like sleight of hand or something like that. Essentially, this is what it is.
Right, yeah, I get it. I don't really have field craft or anything like that. Martial arts is the only thing that gives me any kind of boost. But okay, control security you said, or
yeah, yours is gonna be
daring?
control security. It's control security. It's insight against their insight security. So I'll throw a threat at this. Why not?
Can I make a argument for daring since this is happening suddenly and unexpectedly?
Sure.
The pass off. Great. It's there. All right. Die. Die. So that's 4. 1 threat for 5 dice.
Well, I'll spend 2 to go for 4.
Let's see if I can save my 5.
Get 4 momentum as you expertly, and I'll let you get the assist from Marshall.
Marshall.
And he would actually have a focus. Two more. As he hands you the work orders, and then goes, all right, won't take long, I promise. Don't. It's not.
Better not.
Make things worse than it has to be.
Better not. I'm already writing you up for failure to keep your paperwork in date.
Right. I understand.
Catch up with us on the double time.
I will, sir. And he gets escorted away by Cardassian soldiers.
Okay. What am I?
Hold on. As you're real quick though, the line moves much quicker, and the 3 of you are about to step onto the transporter pad. As Sharon, you just get done, and you see them stepping on to the transporter pad, or getting ready to step on the transporter pad. Well, close to it. You have to enter the work. The way he described it, though, he had to go to an office building nearby that he pointed out to insert the work order.
The Shran will look over and hey, you 3, step off. Security hauled off Girardi. His paperwork was out of date. We can't do squat till he gets his situation sorted out.
You hurry to line up. We have to get transported before Bemlet's vessel leaves.
Who was that?
That was one of someone in the line behind you guys. Behind.
Right. Sorry for the inconvenience. Come on, boys. Wait here while I get this sorted out.
Insight command or con, difficulty 1.
Yeah?
Make a threat for bold con.
Command. Insight command. Diff 1.
Oh, I thought you said command or con. Well, doesn't matter. I have bold command now too, so I think changes anything. No, roll 1. Made it.
You gotta realize, like, if you don't enter this work order in now, if you pull them away, they might not be able to get up to the ship in time and back down.
So how far away am I from the office building?
Not far, probably 10 or 15 meters, but they're probably gonna end up get beamed up to the Bemlet ship before you get back and get back in line.
But I have to get the work order in before they can beam up, right?
Right. Like, you'd be kind of close.
Okay. I'm boogieing then.
All right. You run to the office building as they're waiting patiently in line. You enter the office. There's several Cardassians walking about. Some of them are, just look like regular civilians, or a few officers that are all entering information into the terminals. All of them seem busy.
Are they like behind a counter or something, like civil servants, or is this you walk into the terminals?
You
and
walk
enter
in,
your deal?
there's terminals in the deal. Like, you would just enter the data in.
A free terminal?
Yes, there's some free terminal. Like, none of them are free. Like, all of them are occupied currently.
Okay. Anybody look like they're wrapping up?
For 2 momentum. As one person gets done entering the table, they take their pad and they start walking away, and you push your way in. And as someone gets ready to get in, take that terminal up, cutting them off, and he goes, "Hey, been waiting."
Oh, you can wait a little longer. I'll try and enter the work order.
Control plus engineering or security difficulty 2.
For third eye of anything that will. Shit, I'm gonna have to spend my determination to reroll. Spend a determination on people depend on me.
I will accept that.
Rolling 2.
Hey, get a momentum. And the work order is entered. And as you finish up relatively quickly and you walk away from the terminal, you notice the captain, Jason, Zen, they beam away.
I'm assuming that me getting in line, I won't be able to get up there, even though I've entered the work order. Okay, so I'm going to try and see if I can't find out where they've taken Marshall.
Insight security difficulty of 2. Or con. I'll take con. Insight con or security difficulty 2. Might find a navigation post or something. Did you give me a threat?
Yep, sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. Yeah, took the momentum back, gave you a threat for bold con. Barely made it, so I got all of the 2s out at the beginning of the game.
You managed to find a directory where there's a security office, and as you head towards the security offices, out stumbles Marshall, looking a bit irritated. Sorry about that, Commander. Did you get the work order in place?
As soon as we're out of earshot, I'll say, managed to get the work order in place, and the other 3 were beamed up, but I didn't think there was any way I could follow. Came to get you.
Well, it's not the first time I've been in jam. This is why we work in pairs. Good work. If you want, you can go ahead and head back up to the D5. It's up to them now. I'll stay behind and make sure they get back in all right.
Or you don't have anything else running you might need help down here with, Commander? Hey, there's a reason you always work in pairs.
He just kind of gives you some help. Yep, and my job is to make sure they come back. He kind of taps you on the shoulder. Go back into the ship. Have the doctor get rid of, get your antennae back. And he walks off. What do you wish to do?
March try and tail an intelligence operative.
If you wish to tail him, that is up to you. Are you wanting to tail him, or are you going to go back to the D5?
I think I'll tail him for a little bit.
It's going to be opposed control security against his insight security.
Yes.
See if you're following him.
Any focuses will work here. You.
I would normally.
Go ahead.
I said I would take. I don't see any focuses.
I'll give you 1 threat and 2 momentum for 4 dice.
I'm gonna spend the threat back and roll 3.
That was control security?
Yes.
Oh, nothing I can do about it.
It is a tie. You have a complication.
I don't want to strand the guys on the Cardassian ship with no momentum, so I'll just let it lie. Oh, wait.
What?
Nope, I don't have that medal. Never mind. Let it lie.
I'll give you a determination if you want it or not. He who dares succeed, but you get a complication out of it anyway. If you want to try and re-roll to see if you beat him.
So you're offering me a chance to reroll, see if I can win, but I'm going to take a complication no matter what.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay.
Roll the 0.
Yeah, you're still in the same spot, but
Yep.
You follow him to a transport hub, or not a transport, like a sort of train type hub area.
Mhm.
He enters the hub. You lose him for a second. As you're trying to find him, he comes up from behind you and goes, I told you to go back to the D5.
Never was good at listening to advice.
Take a seat. Let's not try to cause too much commotion. And there's a lot of people on this train, essentially.
Right. I'll have a seat.
And we're going to go back up to the D5. Yamasharo, are you still here with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
It's like a Ouija board or something.
Oh no, they call it bad spirits. On the D5, you just got dropped this big technical piece of equipment to install on the transporter matrix for this D5. Hunk of junk.
Do I know if it's thanks? Do I know if it's compatible to the transport?
It should be.
Should be.
Yeah. Should be. You're not sure. Not until you start, hooking it up.
Well, go ahead and look it up.
This is going to be a control plus engineering difficulty of 3. Work 14, magnitude of 3 with the resistance of 2.
Was the task 3 complication range?
I will post it in the Gilded chat. Oh, do you see the GIF?
I see it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
2 momentum on the board.
Any
Currently 2.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and do 1 threat for both. For any rerolls.
Difficulty 3.
Let's go and do that. That should be enough to do it. Actually, do you have any focuses for it? Yeah, no, I don't believe so. So
No, you don't.
yeah, I'll just go you thread for bold, and we'll do that 3 dice.
Okay. There's a complication. So far, only 2 successes.
I mean, we complication.
That nails it. No momentum gained. 7 challenge dice.
Okay.
That is 5 work. Which
All
is
right.
just enough for the breakthrough.
Okay. Can I do piercing or?
You can spend a momentum for piercing. You do have 2 momentum. That would get you up to 7 work.
Yeah, let's go and do that.
Okay. You start working and you get kind of the hang of it. It's definitely going to be compatible, but it's probably something you're going to want to unplug after a few uses. The D5 was definitely not meant to run this type of equipment.
So it's only going to be temporary.
Yes. Difficulty 2, control plus engineering.
All right, skill threat for bold. To get the 3 dice. That should be enough.
So far you succeed. But then the reroll, so 1 momentum gained. 7 challenge dice. Currently, that is 4 work.
Let's game.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
How many momentum gained?
Just 1.
Spend 4 and the other piercing.
Okay. That gets you the second breakthrough. Currently, you're at 13 out of 14 work, 2 breakthroughs, and it is now difficulty 1. And I'm going to spend 2 threats. As one of the D5 relays kind of burns out, and you have to kind of tell your Orion friend here to get some extra power cables to make sure this thing gets properly powered. So you lose a little bit on the work track.
Yeah, we can just use duct tape.
And then I'm going to, because of that, I'm going to add a complication range increase. So control engineering difficulty 1, comp 2 for the next roll.
Okay, so I'm literally using duct tape.
Probably.
The complication is 1 or 2.
Complication range is 2, difficulty of 1.
I'll spend 1 threat for reroll. And that should be enough if it's difficulty 1.
So you rolled 2 1s and a 0, no complication. Do you want to re-roll the 0?
Yes.
Oh, right into a complication.
There is a complication. Do you get a momentum?
Not enough to squash that.
There is. It's just you don't have enough. You don't have anything to spend it. You won't be able to spend. You don't roll high enough for the work track. So.
All right. Yeah, let's go ahead and spend for that to squash that complication.
Okay.
7 challenge dice. You lucked out.
8 raw.
Yep.
Okay.
That is more than enough to get you the breakthrough and beyond, and you managed to get it installed. Anything else you wish to do after you get it installed?
Is there, I can enhance this thing way I can use it more often, or no?
No.
Okay. Okay. How many I have for this thing?
You theorize with the site to site, you would only probably get 1 or 2. transports out of it.
Okay. One or two, and there are how many people currently on the surface? Are there 4 people on the surface?
There's 5, but the thing is though, like you theorize you could beam them up like how you beam them down. That's not the issue. It's doing a site to site.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Only to side transport. All right.
You know, to beam somebody from somewhere into, say, I don't know, a human-sized torpedo-like pod in the sick bay. Just saying.
Yeah. What, okay. The torpedo like pod in sick bay. What was that again? Curious.
You guys never found out or questioned it, so
I questioned it. Yes, last week I did.
you didn't find out anything about it.
No, true. Good point. I didn't. Guess there's nothing else to do.
I mean, it's it. The things in sick bay, and Dr. Higgins there, and you were told to report to her. So
Wait, I'm supposed to be going into a sick bay?
no, you were told to report to her. Once it was done, but that's up to you.
Oh, yeah. I'll go ahead and see what she wants. Is she?
She's the one that's been doing the altercations, and also she accompanied Marshall.
Yeah.
Part of the Admiral's, she was part of the Admiral's team when they came over to the Valor, last session.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Speak to her.
You head over there as the doors open. Give me insight. Medicine difficulty of 1.
Yikes. Okay. My insight is not that good. What was it, like 9 or something? 8?
Yeah, your insight is 9.
Yeah, and medicine's a 1, I think. That's like a total of 10. All right. No momentum on the correct.
Nope.
All right. I'll just go ahead. 2 dice, and we'll roll like that.
Got a 1.
Just
Awesome.
as you walk in the door, you see the doctor pull his sheet and cover someone, which appears to be a humanoid figure, possibly female. Oh, Lieutenant, are you done installing the device?
Do you mind telling what's under that sheet?
I'm sorry, it is above, as we like to say sometimes, above your pay grade, Lieutenant. Sorry, I cannot disclose that information at this time.
Okay, that's a little. Okay. Wait, do I know what species the
No,
person
they're
is? No. Okay.
they're covered currently. You probably may want to be in the transporter room in case they require immediate beam out. I believe Commander Marshall implanted everyone with emergency beam out um, subdermal monitors.
Okay.
Unless there's something you require.
Yeah, Char will something will at the body need the sheet as just kind of like something to remind the captain of sick because it's a little fishy. But um, uh, Doctor, I was told to come over here and report to you. So was there anything else you needed?
No, just I'll let you know.
Okay. Do you want to sense any? Do I like feel like there's something trying any intentions or any ill intent?
You sense there's like you get the impression from her from body language she's like there's no hostility towards you or anything like that. But she's being very careful with what she says.
Hmm. Okay. Well, given that this is be an intelligence mission, is she with Starfleet Intelligence?
She's wearing a blue medical uniform.
Hmm.
She came aboard with Marshall and the admiral who you know is um, sort of heads Starfleet intelligence in at least this area. So you can assume safely that she does work for them to a degree.
Okay. All right. I will say ask her, is there anything that I should be concerned with? Because that person beneath your sheet looks like he's possibly some
No,
distance.
I am fine. As she approaches you, please, Lieutenant, you need to get back to your post.
She I'm a compliant. Just her a little just kind of like just thinking a little suspicious, but still compliant. Head back to over to the station. Just something to note again for.
Um, as you start heading out the sick bay door, she goes back and takes out some medical tools and starts working. So you head back to the transporter room.
Yeah, my investigation skills is terrible, so I can't really do much in terms of investigating.
And we'll go back to the theater of mind. Captain Jace and Jeddah, you beam aboard the Cardassian cruiser. And like in the training, there is actually a transporter operative right there. I see here that you're here to do a inspection on the computer core.
That is correct.
Yeah.
You're roboting a little bit, Captain.
Sorry. You better.
No.
How about now?
Yeah. Very well.
That's correct. We're
If you don't wish to remain on this cruiser, you have 2 hours.
that should be plenty of time.
He looks unamused and motions to the door. Like, get out of my transporter room. People are dropping. Is there a problem here? The voice chat?
Testing. Can you still hear me?
Yes. I know we lost the captain and then Jeddah dropped for a little bit. Hopefully the captain can come back. I might be having some internet issues currently. But yes, you guys leave the transporter room.
Right. We will be just like we did
All right.
before.
Keep in mind you're down a person. Technically 2, but as you walk down the halls, which way are you going? Are you going to main engineering or are you going to the computer core as you come down proceed down the corridors?
Computer core.
Going to the computer core this time?
Yep.
All right. You head directly and you enter the computer core, where another Cardassian looks at you. You're not authorized to be here.
What are you talking about? We have clearance to perform diagnostics in this area.
I wasn't notified of any diagnostics on the computer core.
Most unfortunate. It will have to go into our report on the efficiency of ship's crew and readiness.
Pose presence command.
Um, that 4 dice? Is that's
3 threat for 4 dice.
I will roll 4 with presence command.
I will roll that back at you. Ha! Well, before I go into the Cardassian rant, do you wish to re-roll that somehow, or you let the roll stand?
Um, I will. Can I use the value? I must follow my orders to do this.
Sure.
Okay. So I guess I'll re-roll the 3. I have to re-roll all 4.
You can re-roll 3. Roll 1 challenge dice for me, please. Okay. So yeah, 2 momentum generated. Ugh. Very well. Make it quick. He goes back to work on a terminal.
Okay. And I will terminal, preferably.
You head to the terminal to start.
I say that again.
Do you head over to the terminal to start?
Yes.
You start inputting the, essentially program into the system. Roll. Notes. Control plus engineering difficulty of 4, assisted by. Sorry, that's not the right one. Sorry. Yes, daring plus engineering difficulty of 4. Work 17, magnitude of 4, resistance of 2.
Okay. I will give you the threat roll to 4 dice again.
You give me 3 threat.
Yeah, to roll 4 dice.
Okay.
Still complication 1.
Yes, currently.
Roll my 1 challenge dice.
That just hits it. 6 challenge dice. You have currently 2 bonus momentum that's float. That is 0 work.
Okay. So alright, I will do 1 of my bonus for piercing. And I will use my second bonus to roll 4.
Okay. That's total of 6 work now. That is enough for the breakthrough.
Okay.
All right. Keep in mind we are in intervals, so that is going to use up 2 intervals out of the 8 that you have. So it'd be 6 out of 8 intervals. Currently, as you start working on it, this Cardassian guy looks up, he's monitoring things. Excuse me, what are you doing? As he takes notice.
We're running a test on the capacity of the computer core just to make sure that everything is up to snuff right now with it. You know how command is.
Present command opposed. Yeah, presence command opposed.
Diplomacy, linguistics, anything like that.
Be deception.
Oh, okay.
Or bluff. I would
Uh,
take gambling and increased
Let me
complication.
take.
Sorry, go
I
ahead.
don't even have that. Let me do one threat, two momentum.
Spend the 3. Yeah. Presence command opposed.
Should be coming through here in a moment.
Doesn't appear to be coming through, Captain. Um, I'm. Uh, Captain, your roll hasn't come through yet. Captain Maxwell, did you see that? The roll, the roll hasn't gone through. Hover on roll 20.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to send you a photo, and then I'll switch over to Discord.
With that roll, currently he's beating you by one. You have a complication.
Yeah, I see that. I got gypped of my original roll, but oh well. Ba-ba-ba. Can I spend my determination on mission directive and reroll the 2?
Yes.
Well, that's better.
Um, currently that is a tie. With the tie, you're kind of having an argument. You keep him busy, so he doesn't notice anything, but at the same time, you're not able to react if anyone else comes into the room right away, because you're sort of kind of dealing with him in back and forth babble. Uh, the door is open to the.
There's nothing I can do with
The door's open, and as you're standing there, as in you notice like, I come to relieve you. Who are these people?
that. We are mainly here to conduct an.
You're you're talking having an argument with him, so it's Jeddah, and technically we're in like combat rounds, so yeah, you're kind of busy
okay.
with him, the other guy.
We're a maintenance team here to conduct tests on the ship's computer core.
Why are they arguing?
Can I tell exactly what the other Cardassian feels? As in how he
Confusion.
His
emotions. He's feeling
the other
confusion right now.
The other Cardassian is currently confused and is thinking we're doing something different than we actually are. He may need some help getting to his thought processes.
I just ran a level, or I just did a high priority diagnostic on this core yesterday. I didn't know anyone was coming from the surface to do this.
There must have been a miscommunication between command.
That's odd. Well, I would have been informed if there was a communication done to the or made it to the computer core. Especially at this hour, it's the start of my shift. I am to take his place. Can I see your credentials, please?
He hands him the pad with the job order and the credentials. credentials of adjutant.
Strange indeed. As he looks over it. Are you sure these orders are legit? This doesn't look right. You didn't follow the proper procedure here. Subsection A, paragraph B. Who is your foreman? I'd like to speak to them. Or, well, sorry,
Our
superior.
foreman is current. I assume the captain would be our superior in this case. Our superior is currently. Well, first question is the captain our superior or not?
You're not sure.
Our superior is currently down on the planet. There was a miscommunication with the guards at the office, and he was rushed to implementing the duty order, and he was not able to transport in time.
President's command opposed.
Determination on the focus, pledged to survive.
I'll take it.
And a threat. Also, was it daring or presence?
Presence command.
Actually, no, it's 2 threat because I'm using a determination.
Oh, yeah. Spend a threat back, or spend that 2 threat gained, and then went back to 4. 2 momentum gained. And he kind of hands you back the beds. See to that your superior officer knows the proper procedures need to be formed out. Subsection A, blah blah blah, and he's like entailing the details to you, like of everything that was wrong with the work order.
And Adjun is just listening along calmly until he stops and he says, "I will make sure to do that, sir."
See that he just frustrated. He starts walking up this way, but we go back to you, Jace. Daring plus engineering difficulty 3.
Okay. I'll give you threat. Nice.
How many dice are you rolling?
4.
Oh, okay. 2 more.
Complications.
Complication range is still 1. 2 momentum gained. Roll 6 challenge dice for me, please.
Don't forget junior officer thing.
Yeah. 1 challenge dice as well. for the untapped potential. You have one bonus. Just need the 6 challenge dice. Currently, that is
I'll
0 work.
immediately want my bonus into piercing.
It's 2
I
work.
will one momentum to reroll 4. Hello.
Wow. 6 more.
Nice.
Puts you at 14. 2 drops it down to 2. All right. Yes. Currently, though, that uses up 2 intervals, so you're at 4 out of 4 intervals left. I'm gonna spend 2 threat. As somebody in main engineering is hitting the computer core pretty hard, and it's making it a little bit more difficulty for you to input all the data in.
That's increasing the complication or the difficulty?
I'm taking off 4 from the work track,
Ah, okay.
so it's just making it hard. It's just making you do more work, slowing things down for you. So. Captain, as you're arguing, this other Cardassia comes up. I'm here to take your place. There's something not right about all of this. What do you mean? I looked over their work order. There's a few errors in it, but it is legit nonetheless. Should go get some rest. You've been here for 12 hours. I suppose, but keep an eye on them. Something doesn't feel right. Anything you want to do, Captain or Shin?
I guess I'll mainly pretend to be looking at consoles and checking on things, seeing how things are going.
Give me presence engineering to make yourself look like you're doing engineering work. Difficulty 2.
If 2, huh?
You could technically save an interval by directing.
Input the virus again.
I could, but I'm good. I need to make it look legit. Oh boy. Let me do 1 threat, 2 momentum for this because this is crazy. Yikes. Yikes.
Does the rule stand?
I have to figure something out.
Can I challenge if it's strange, it's probably dangerous because even though there's gonna be strange readings, it's actually right now.
No.
Ah.
I will take sometimes violence is the answer, and you're trying to avoid violence.
Yeah, sure. Let's do that.
It would have to be mission directive.
And I guess, yeah. Give me a second. Give me just 1 second. I've gotta reset my uh, phone's hotspot. Hang it. Had to roll it in Discord.
Two momentum generated. And yeah, you make busy enough to where he's, sort of distracted by what you're doing.
Good.
All right. Spending 2 threats. Another individual walks in and issues. The computer core is being run. It's being overtasked at the moment. Could you please free up some of the memory? We're trying to do some lengthy experiments, simulation runs in main engineering. Plus, I thought you said you were done with the diagnostics yesterday. You do anything? Shin?
Action will probably wait until the other Cardassian responds.
These men are doing a diagnostic. Apparently, Central Command wants the Legate's vessel in tip-top shape. What? That's not procedure. They have the work order. It is legit and it was filed in the system. I just double checked it. Let me see that work order. There's full of errors in this thing. You there. What are you doing?
Sir?
I'm guessing that's to me.
Yes, but you're kind of startled, but Shin can interrupt him before he pulls the captain.
Arjun just says, is it just me or is this computer core the most active computer core in the entire fleet?
Walks up to you instead. This core runs a tip-top ship from my understanding. I like to get these simulations done before we leave.
And I would have liked not to be have been delayed on the planet's surface by the security guards. Do we always get what we want? No.
Well, his diagnosis should be more than self-efficient. You shouldn't even need to be here. You there, you need to stop what you're doing.
Ooh, little old me?
Yeah, he's coming up to you. So Shin wishes to do something.
Guys, deal with him?
Arjun just says, you do not have the authority to command him to stop what he is doing. Our commands come straight down from... Our orders come straight from command.
President's command opposed.
Can I burn the determination I used, I made last session? The
mean-
milestone I made last session during the infiltration
Yes.
in the training simulation.
Yes, you can.
And I will spend 2 momentum.
Throw a threat at this. It's a tie. You can succeed at cost, or you might time up for this round. But after Jace goes again, he's gonna try and pull Jace out from whatever he's doing.
I will succeed at cost.
All right. You managed to pull him back, and the two of you start getting into an argument over what's happened. But Jace, go ahead and go. Give me daring plus engineering difficulty of 2, and I'm gonna make it complication range 2 because it's getting a little distracting.
I will. Had to roll 4 dice again, whatever that works out to be.
3 threat, or
Yes, 3 threat. I want.
okay.
No complication 2.
Yes. Gain a momentum.
Okay, let me roll. picky here.
Roll 1 challenge dice. You have 1 bonus. Roll 6
Okay,
challenge
immediately.
dice. You currently have 4 intervals left. But it could get worse here in a second. That's 2 work being done.
Okay. I will use my momentum to re-roll 3.
The float. It puts you at 15.
Want to do piercing?
I already did piercing.
Oh, I didn't hear
Oh.
that. Sorry.
Oh, you already did piercing? Then that's 17.
Yeah, I used my bonus to.
Okay. That will actually complete it. The extended task. I am
Nothing to worry about. I'm all done here.
You there. Double check his findings. Oh, throw a thread at this. Computer core looks a-okay. It's simulation was taxing the computer core. Are you sure? Well, nah, it's your ship, Chief. Yeah, I'll get back to work. He doesn't say anything. He just goes back to what he was doing. Get off this ship for more trouble you cause.
Right
We're
away.
headed out anyway. We have other ships to go to.
Sure you do.
And we head back to the transporter room.
All right, the 3 of you head back to the transporter room and beam down. And while that's going on, we're going to cut over to someone else. Strand, you took a little bit of a ride with Marshall as he gets up, and I'm assuming you follow him.
Yeah.
You follow him. It looks to be some sort of residential district area. And as he starts walking down sort of an alleyway, this is your chance to beam up, Commander, without being spotted.
Oh no, I'm quite enjoying the walk. It's nice to stretch my legs.
I can't let you accompany me any further. Sorry, I insist that you beam back up. Presence command opposed.
Take a threat for bold command and the 3rd die. A and another threat for there. Mental discipline as a focus, since he's trying to kind of overawe me with command.
Sure.
Ooh, he's tough.
Yeah, it's a 5.
At 0. See if I can buy it. Shit. Nope. All right, Commander. You win. And I'll call for a beam up to the ship.
I'll allow you to see the cost, but there'll be a complication with this. If you really want
Okay.
to.
Yeah, I really want to see what this guy's up to. No, I think I'll see it through to the end, Commander. Who knows? You might wind up being glad I hung around.
We'll see about that. Perhaps you can be useful. However, not a word of this to your captain or anyone.
Hear about that new restaurant in Delta sector? Everybody
Yeah.
online was talking about it.
Perhaps another time. As you
Well-
Go ahead.
I don't get to Cardassia Prime that often, but out your way.
You don't have much time, unfortunately. And as you walk down the alleyway, he brushes up against sort of a wall, kind of, and you hear a click, and the door kind of opens up. Let's hurry, Commander.
Follow him through if he goes through.
Oh, he goes through.
Quickly close it behind me.
The door shuts, and you walk down, and it's a kind of a narrow passage that kind of extends upwards underground. And as you approach up, there's a kind of starts branching off, and he start going to like more of like a left side, going down the left branch, and eventually you come up, and you find yourself. It's supposed to go to map layer. A bedroom. In the distance, you could hear birds chirping, a little slight breezes. This is sort of a balcony area. There's a bed, a desk area, some table lamps, and there's actually a couple chairs in here.
Kind of raise one eyebrow at Marshall. Brow ridge, I guess.
As he goes through the room, he starts actually thrashing the room a bit, making a mess.
Does he look like he's looking for something or just
He's
making
just
the scene?
he's making like it look. Give me insight security difficulty 1.
Right straight.
It almost appears like it's not like at random. It may seem so, but he's actually making it look like someone was engaging in a struggle. As he starts moving over to like this side, he kind of points to the door, like, keep an eye on the door.
All right. Standard Star Trek whoosh, door.
It starts making more of a mess. And as you're listening to the door, you hear someone come up the set of stairs.
Get Marshall's attention and
He moves over and takes cover. The door creaks open and enters a Bajoran woman. And he motions to grab her.
okay, I will do so. Hand over mouth kind of thing.
Daring security opposed.
Have 3 threat for 4 dice. Martial arts.
Yes, I'll take that. I'll spend one of them.
I'll have a security reroll.
Oh my god. I'll squash. You grab her and you hold her down and sort of grapple her, holding, and she's kind of trying to, scream out, kicking.
Shh. Not gonna hurt you. Say, hoping that's true.
President's Command difficulty 2.
Threat for bold command. Fly there.
Yeah. President's Command difficulty 2.
Is it not showing up on your end?
No. Well, you did gain 2 momentum. What is wrong with roll 20 tonight?
Rolled a 5, a 5, and a 4, none of which is in my crit range, so I've got 3 successes.
I guess just try using the Discord bot.
Did you?
I didn't even see
Yep.
it. I heard you, but
Okay.
I don't see the roll. I just see the security roll. It's the last one I see.
He did accidentally roll a daring security, but that's I
No,
believe that's the one he's talking
that was
about.
the
Oh,
opposed.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
The opposed is
no the to kind of get her to shut up. It's President's Command difficulty 2.
Sorry, I may have.
There we go. Okay. 2 more momentum generated. And she begins to quiet down. Marshall kind of motions, get her over, towards a certain area.
Okay. I move her to wherever that area is.
And He sort of looks and peeks out the balcony. Might be a bit. Take her and be back up to the ship.
I nod and head back out the way we came.
He kind of motions to your. Okay, so you're gonna head down the tunnel again.
He's motioning to my emergency.
Yeah.
The side-to-side transfer I think is okay to use. I'm not sure how many uses it has.
Yeah,
2 or
I'll
3 or
click
something.
the emergency beam out.
You're just beaming him straight to the pad.
Right, but he was motioning to my implanted buyer probe to activate it, right?
Yeah, so that way,
Yeah.
gets the signal instead of actually
Yeah.
doing the communication.
So make sure I've got a good hold on her and the implanted buyer probe.
All right. Yashimaro, give me daring plus engineering, difficulty of 3, assisted by the ship's sensors plus engineering.
Okay. How much momentum do we have on the board?
Currently,
4.
there's 4.
Okay. The difficulty was 3?
Yes, difficulty 3.
Okay. So we'll I'll give you 1 threat for bold, and go ahead and give you the rest momentum for 4 dice.
So 2 momentum.
All engineering?
Daring engineering, because he's doing it hastily.
Yeah, I don't believe I have any focuses for this, actually. This is all engine.
Here's the ship. Ooh, ship screwed us.
There is a momentum. That's not a comp. Complication was 1.
Oh, I must not set it back.
You beam back on board the ship. That's where I have.
It's the woman that I'm beaming over, or
And Thishran, both of us.
Yeah, he
both of
has
them.
to.
Okay.
He kind of has to hold on to her in order to beam her up.
Once we're aboard.
Welcome back, Commander. Who's our guest?
I turned to the woman. Despite all appearances to the contrary, my name's Commander Kirthon Thishran of the United Federation of Planets Starfleet.
Hi,
This is
Lieutenant Yamashara, also from Starfleet.
She looks a bit taken. Considering you're Starfleet, who look like Cardassians on a Klingon vessel. So she's.
I kind of nod. Come with me and I'll take you to an actual person who looks like who she is. Take her to sick bay.
Commander, there's something a little fishy about this doctor of ours. I'm going to say it kind of privately to him. There appears in a female in there. She quickly covered up with a sheet of some kind. I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure if this woman can be trusted but
Well, it's an intelligence operation, Lieutenant, but thanks for the heads up. I'll keep my wits about me. I'll take the Bajoran woman into sickbay.
Yeah, you fall into sick bay.
Doctor, I'd like you to meet. Kind of look at the Bajor and kind of like, what's her asking her what her name is.
Zanya,
Zanya. Uh, Understandably, she's a bit confused and not quite reassured when I tell her that we're with Starfleet. I thought perhaps you might be able to reassure her. And do I
when
see the body
once
under the sheet?
you see the yes, you see the body under the sheet, but she pulls out and she gets thinged, and then she taps her comm badge. Yashamaro, activate the device.
Right away, Doctor. I will go ahead and activate that. Can you hear me?
This is going to be a control plus engineering difficulty of 4, assisted by the ship's sensors plus engineering.
Okay. And it's D4?
Difficulty of 4. Yes.
Okay. 4 all right. I'll give you how much for 5? How much momentum or threat I have to give for 5 dice?
Well,
Roll
yeah.
4?
Okay, yeah, to roll 4 or 5 dice.
What complication?
Complication range is currently 1. You have 3 momentum on the table. If you wish to roll 4 dice, it's 3 momentum, or combination of threat and momentum. If you wish to roll 5 dice total, you're going to need to spend all 3 momentum plus give me 3 threat to keep the threat count down if that's what you're wishing, or give me 6 threat, or any sort of combination. You just need to spend 6 momentum or 6 threat.
Okay. I'll give you 3 threat and 3 momentum.
Okay.
Split it up a little bit, half.
I'm going to up the complication range to 2.
Oof, yikes. I was a little concerned about that too. Alright, well, 5 dice, and the bullet is there too. This is daring, or is it control?
It's control.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure why I needed 5 dice. Okay, with the 5 dice, and go ahead. Crossed.
I rolled that twice. Sorry. Got 1 complication. I'll re-roll with a bold. Got 5.
Yeah, just need the ship.
On the ship. Ooh, ship rolled a 2. So like
3 momentum
gained.
Yeah, 3 momentum gained. As when she says that, and Yashima performs the transporter roll, she pulls the sheet off, revealing what it appears to be a battered and bruised Oska. The transporter roll dematerializes, beaming her away. And a moment later, rematerializing back in sickbay is Marshall and Oska. Apologies, Commander. And I know you wanted to keep this hush on it. Zonia, is it? If you like, if you step over here, I'll take a look at you. And Marshall and Oska kind of like look at each other, and she's like, and they kind of go off somewhere else elsewhere on the ship.
Well, Rand's not leaving until he has his antennae back.
Go ahead and I guess do that. Have her roll real quick for that while she's doing the procedure. Why not? It only cost me
Can the ship assist her in this procedure?
No. Get a momentum, and after a while, you are back to your good old self. But while that surgery is going on the surface of the planet, the three of you beam back down, and doing so as you step off to the pad and start walking away from the transporter hub. You hear security. You see security forces off in the background start running up to the transporter hub, and the transporter chief walks away, locking the transporter hub up as alert sirens start going off.
That doesn't sound good.
Oh yeah, scene change by the way.
We're at the hub
No!
when this happens, correct?
All you know is the transporter hub you just beamed through. Moments after you walk away from it, security forces come flying down the street, locking down the transporter hub, moving people away from it. What do you guys do? And alert sirens are going off.
Other means of getting out.
Captain?
I've got a quick question. What are the security guards as they're passing? If I can sense their emotions, what are they feeling?
A sense of urgency.
So they passed us and closed it behind us and were effectively free to leave.
They seem to be ignoring you.
So I assume we probably want to keep on walking. I know Arjun does at least.
Yeah, well. Oh, they locked it. Can we try to override it? Or are they.
This is the transport route. You just completed your mission. So
Right.
really, all you have left to do is get to the rendezvous point for beam out.
Okay, so we don't need to transport it to beam out. Okay.
Yeah, like the ship's supposed to beam me back up.
Okay. Let's head for the rendezvous point.
Okay. You head to the rendezvous point. A lot of the guards are coming about. It's been some threat. As you walk into the alleyway where you beamed in at, you two, you need to get inside right away. Or sorry, you three, get
What
inside.
seems to be the problem?
We're in a state of emergency. You know the drill.
Right. Right. Where would you have us go right now?
Excuse me? Should know your designated spots.
Yes. Yes, of course. We will head for them now. We'll try to kind of walk around the corner to see if they go about their business and
They're following you. They find you very suspicious.
actually, are we alone in the alleyway?
Currently, yes.
I see any other people who might good secluded area.
You're in an alleyway. There's nothing here except maybe trash and barrels.
Okay.
And the occasional Cardassian lizard cat.
Right. Do I see any kind of like club or
No.
I'll look to the captain. Is he yes? I'm gonna move up here. Here, can you take a look at these papers? They're very important.
Uh, as you start approaching them, they back up and they draw their weapons. All right, you need to come with us. The three of you. Let's go to the security office.
You don't want to look at my papers here from the legate himself.
We'll look at them at the security office. You'll come with us now.
Of course. Uh, I'm going to rush this guy here.
Which one? The
Top,
red or blue? Red. Okay.
red.
Daring security opposed.
We'll give you a threat for bold security. Guys, hand-to-hand combat for this.
Yes, hand-to-hand combat.
Okay, complication 1.
Yes, complication range is 1, and I will spend the threat back at you to match dice roll. Well, first one. Currently he's succeeding. Can you re-roll your 0?
I
Have a-
have bold security.
You can re-roll that. Currently the Cardassian is succeeding. I believe you already spent your determination.
I challenge the value no pain, no gain since I don't want to get hurt.
Sure.
So, re-roll 1, I guess.
Yes, you'll be re-rolling 1. Currently it is a tie. You wish to succeed at cost.
Yes.
Roll unarmed strike damage.
Okay, should I roll my untapped?
Yes. Roll your untapped. No bonus.
And I do have mean right hook.
Okay, so every effect is vicious. That is 6. That is going to take him down. However, you sprain your wrist when you punch him across, square in the face. So the next time you do an unarmed strike, it's increased complication range of 1.
Okay. Can I do a swift task to punch the other guy?
Be 2 momentum.
Okay.
Be
And
opposed.
2 momentum.
Okay, spending 2 momentum. Opposed daring security.
Okay. Do threat for 4 dice, whatever that is.
3 threat. I'll spend that back at you.
So that what's that complication now?
Complication range is 2.
Okay.
But I'm rolling 4 dice. Keep in mind, you are gonna have to get a 1. You're gonna have to succeed. He has a free success because this is a quick action. Okay. Or sorry, swift action. Ooh. You gain a momentum.
Reroll 1.
Okay. Roll untapped real quick. You have a bonus float. You needed
I'll use-
2. You gain 3 off the roll. You still have a complication. You have a float, so you only have 4 momentum at your disposal currently.
So I will use the 1 float and a momentum to squash the complication.
Okay, so you're only gaining 2 momentum. So you're at 4 momentum. Roll unarmed strike damage. Should be at 4 total momentum. It's a shrink. That is
5.
5 total, but he's still up.
Can I spend 1 for piercing?
You can, yes, and that would bring him down. So you go down to 3 momentum as you quickly rush both of them, knocking both of them out, and your wrist hurts really bad. Might have a
That is
hairline
a-
fracture in it.
Heck out of here.
So go
I
back to
guess
the.
tap my communicator and say, get us out of here. Him up.
You don't have a communicator.
Oh, that's right. Tap my
Do you rejoin the?
first.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, so you were told to get to the rendezvous point. So when you get at the rendezvous point is when you're gonna get beamed up because they'll have a sensor lock there. Or if it's an emergency, you tap the thing in a clear area.
Okay.
So
I will return to the others. I assume we're in the beam up spot.
you're close to it.
We'll continue to the exact spot.
Yashiro needs to roll a control plus engineering difficulty of 3, assisted by the ship's sensors plus engineering.
Okay. All right. It's controls. I have pretty good control, so it shouldn't be too bad. All right. Let's go ahead and do. How much momentum and do we have on?
Currently you're at 3.
Okay. I do want to spend 1 thread for that reroll because I want to have that reroll in case. And the difficulty was 3, correct?
Correct.
All right. So, those dice should be enough.
So you're just rolling 3 dice?
Yes.
Okay.
Just enough.
And just sensors engineering.
Well, no hurt.
As the last of the away team beams aboard.
Welcome. Was the problem surface?
Trying to hold up my hand. All one.
You should probably get that looked at, Lieutenant. There's the doctor, I believe, is in the sick bay currently. So she's currently attending to Tashran and his foreign guest.
Go head down and see what's going on.
Did he up to them? Or was it just him?
You don't have to remain at the transporter station anymore because everybody's beamed aboard, by the way.
Yeah. Alright. Char, go ahead to space, see if he can't get his little human back and start donning his uniform again.
Shrin, she wakes you up as the rest of your Crew members walk on board or walk inside the sickbay area. Um, yep. She finishes up and helps you sit up and says, "I'll finish, Commander. Might be a little bit before you regain your total equilibrium."
Thank you, Doctor. Nice to not be gray anymore.
I hope I return the proper blue shade.
If not, you'll be hearing from my advocate. Joking, Doctor.
Of course.
I'll carefully get up. I look at what was the Bajoran's name again? Could you put that in the chat for my notes? Look at Sonya and smile. See? This is what I really look like.
Tell me, are we near Bajor?
No, no, not at all. We're currently in orbit over Cardassia Prime. Oh, not terribly far off, but not what I would call near either.
I see.
Do you want to return there? I mean, I understand the occupation is nothing pretty, to put it mildly.
She gives you a bewildered look.
Oh, has the occupation not happened yet?
Oh no, the occupation is in full swing. She gives you a bewildered look. Like she's confused.
Great bird of the galaxy. Not know. How long have you been away from Bajor?
A couple of years, but
How long's the occupation been going on?
30, 40? I started like in 23, 10 something.
Only a couple of years? You don't know about the Cardassian occupation?
I knew they were kidnapping us. It's not the first time I've been taken captive by them, but
Wait a minute. You know Captain Max Rogers by any chance?
you know of Maximilian? Where is he?
Safe on Starbase 211. I think you may have been away from Bajor longer and traveled farther than you know.
What year is it?
Currently stardate 35678.7.
I don't recognize that.
Hmm.
That.
Let me see if my pad will put that into Bajoran dating. I can do that.
she kind of gets the idea that it's been a while.
From what I understand, until he was rescued at a Cardassian prison camp, Captain Rogers had been missing for 60 years.
She looks a bit shocked and stunned.
But he's all right. A little bit used, but safe and physically healthy. Him we can take you to.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Thank the prophets. But the orb. We need to get the orb.
All right.
At this point, Marshall walks in, kind of oversees, like, the orb is in a safe location. Don't need to worry about the orb. How can you be so sure? The orb is very dangerous, especially in the wrong hands. There's a few friends in Cardassia that'll keep it safe. And return to your people at the appropriate time. Doctor, when you get a free chance to make me look back my old self again, I would greatly appreciate that.
If I were you, I'd opt for the antennae and pleasing blue melanin option. Do you some good.
I'll think about it. Yeah, what else do you guys wish to do?
Good.
The Shran will head to the bridge to see if they need any assistance getting back out of space around Cardassia Prime. He'll squeeze Zonya's hand reassuringly and tell her to call him if she needs anything. Get to the bridge.
You think Yar will try and see if he can try to see if he can do anything to juice a little bit, see if he can give the engines a bit more power. That way, so that way he can get out faster.
Really, the thing is that you don't want to be detected, so increasing power might increase your chance of being detected.
Oh, okay. I mean, you make us faster without.
Speed is not so much. It's more avoiding things.
Okay. Well, Yamashar will go ahead and see if he can't get the paint all of him.
So to speed things along here, all of you get your disguises removed.
Hooray.
After, some time. Zonya is given her a little cabin area on the ship. But yeah, you guys have a nice long ride back into Federation space, where you're going to rendezvous with the USS with your ship and the Argo. You guys make it out. Okay.
Pretty good.
So it's literally free roleplay if anybody wishes.
Uh, or I assume already knows the little about the doctor being a little suspicious about that body. Actually, do who that?
Do you guys get together and talk about things that you experience? Because currently Marshall and Higgins are sort of cleaning things up in sickbay.
Other than getting fixed, hopefully. Follow the captain's lead, as it's not my question a superior officer.
Tran is staying mum.
After some time passes, all of you eventually you rendezvous with the Valor and are requested to beam aboard the Valor, where Admiral Whitley will relieve his command.
Well, good to be home again.
Ever installed those upgrades yet?
What?
Upgrade engine have not been right.
No, you haven't.
All right, well, you'll have to get on to that at some point.
Captain, Commander, welcome back. Glad to see everyone made it out alive.
Thank you, sir.
If you don't mind, I will return command to you, Captain Maxwell, and you're to set course to Starbase 211, where you'll drop me off. And my staff, of course.
Did Marshall, Zonia, and
They haven't beamed
Doctor
aboard yet.
beam?
Yeah, they haven't beamed aboard.
Okay. All right, people. Good job all around. To your quarters, get cleaned up. Back to life as normal.
As I go by the admiral, I stop and say, Admiral, if I may, speak.
You cut out.
So I walk over by the admiral and kind of stiffen up into, you know, my brain's not working. Attention. Lieutenant requests to ask the admiral a question.
Go ahead, Lieutenant.
I would just like to thank the admiral for considering him and using this lieutenant on this daring mission, sir.
No, it is I that need to thank you for so bravely willing to do this mission, Lieutenant. He extends his hand out.
Shakes it.
You're
Oddly.
dismissed, Lieutenant.
Aye, sir. He snaps his heels and walks out.
Captain Maxwell, are you there?
Doesn't look like her. If he is, we can't. If you're there, we can't hear you.
If you don't mind, gentlemen, I do need to debrief my team in private.
Of course, Admiral. I'll just escort Zanya to her temporary quarters, and you and your team can have at it.
She'll need to be debriefed. She'll be debriefed by us. I will notify you when she can be escorted to her quarters.
Very good, Admiral. Pause by him. In kind of a low voice, so Shazaret can't hear. She's in better shape than Rogers, but still a little rattled.
He just gives you a nod.
I don't know.
After some time passes, as Zonia has been escorted to her quarters, kind of do it, like just you're about to arrive at 211. Get out of your quarters there, Sishran, and notice a face you haven't seen before walk by you.
You have a token, or?
Leaving it a mystery for now.
Oh. Rank and department?
Command Red Lieutenant.
Lieutenant. Huge. Does the person stop?
He stops, turns around. Commander.
Sorry, things have been a little crazy around here. I don't think you and I have had the chance to meet. I'm the XO, Kirthon Thashran.
Pleasure to meet you, Commander. I am in a bit of a rush. If you don't mind.
It's usually traditional for subordinate officer to introduce herself to the executive officer aboard the ship upon which she serves.
With all due respects, Commander, I'm not assigned to the Valor, only, well, temporary. A little late transfer after you departed from the Excalibur. I'm assigned to Admiral Whitney, sir.
Ah, interesting. I thought I'd met everyone on the Admiral's staff. I'll just walk with you if you don't mind.
As you wish, sir.
I'll accompany her to wherever she's going.
To the briefing room where Admiral Whitney's currently at.
Where was she coming from?
One of the quarters. The guest quarters. That was nearby.
Does she look at all familiar to Thashran? I mean, she looks familiar there.
This could be a number of rolls. Let's go either insight, security, or command. I'll give you con at an increased difficulty. No, not con. Let's go either security or command.
All right, we'll do command. What's my diff?
Difficulty of 2.
Set for the third die. I'll make an argument for mental discipline as a focus because I know he's used it before to kind of memorize things. So as kind of ability to recall faces, people, places.
Sure, but I'm up the complication range to 2.
Range 2, very good. I'll just hold there.
2 momentum generated. Yeah, she does look very, very familiar. Almost like you've recently seen her.
In 2 different shapes, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll escort her to the briefing room. Well, Lieutenant, it was a pleasure meeting you. I hope you've enjoyed your time aboard the Valor.
It's been brief, but thank you. And she gives a slight bow. Commander.
Try and stay out of trouble from here on out, Lieutenant.
Sir? Just gives you an inquisitive look like, sure, I don't know what you're talking about.
All fun and games until someone gets skinned alive. Just head off down the hallway.
What are you feeling at the moment? At that comment? Like your mental mindset. Like what are you feeling? Like your character.
Shran understands the necessity for what he thinks has been going on. As you know, pretty sure this is who Asuka is or was. Now, whether or not she's Asuka turned into a human or a human agent who's been masquerading as Asuka, and the one we sent back was the real Asuka. which I think is the case. But in any event, his feelings are kind of, he understands the necessity of things like this, but he also understands um, how it can go terribly, terribly wrong and end an idealistic kind of adventure-seeking officer's life in incredibly horrific ways. And sometimes intelligence is far more interested in getting information than protecting their people, as the Shrans should think they should be. So it's kind of a mixed bag of emotions. I
So
don't know if that made that any clearer, but
no, so petty, like you feel sorry, not much sorry for her, like more sympathetic
yeah, sympathetic and concerned.
and concerned.
Yeah, but also understanding.
Just as you're about to leave, or at the conference room, she kind of looks at you like, "Don't worry, Commander, I'm fine." And she walks into the conference room.
I'll head to the bridge.
And with that, I think we'll bring this session to a close.